So here we are looking at the Synology DS1010 Plus and its extension DX510. Now the extension allows to add 5 more hard drives to the original unit, which has already 5 hard drives. We prepared both units, connected them together so they operate and function as one NAS device. And the first thing you need to do once everything is set up is install the Synology Assistant from the CD-ROM, which will help you detect the unit on the network. As you can see, we found it here, and the first thing you need to do after it is found is actually install the unit so that it can operate, and the installation is actually started by installing its firmware. So we downloaded the latest firmware from Synology, which is located here. It's the 1144 version, and if we select the disk station we can select install, and the first thing you need to do is install that firmware. So we're just going to browse to the firmware, select it, and then just have a step-by-step setup executed instead of a one-click setup. So we're just going to click next here, give it a name. In our case we're just going to name it Cobra because I like snakes. We're just going next, give it a password. Quickly going to do that so we don't have to redo this later on, and then we just click next again. We're just going to leave the automatic DHCP connected currently, although you can have a manual IP address set, but we're just going to leave a DHCP now. We're going to select the time zone in which we are. The time seems to be correct at this moment, 8:09, and then just click next. It gives you a little overview, finish, and there we go. Now actually the Synology DS1010 Plus is installing itself. It will apply network settings, format the hard drive, format the system partition, install firmware to the hard drive because it's a software based NAS, and it will write the configuration we just gave you. When this is finished, you still don't have a volume because all it did was formatting the hard drive to make sure it's empty and created some form of system partition. So once this is done, we have to go into the administrative console and configure a volume there to be used and share with the rest of the network. So we're just going to leave this for a couple minutes until it's finished. It doesn't take really long, and then pick back up. So we left the units alone for a couple of minutes, and it's now occupied with writing the configuration on the hard drive on the system partition, and then we actually be ready to connect to the admin console and configure the device as we want it to be. The thing with Synology is that it does not have a display on the unit, and without having a display you need your PC to set it up completely from the beginning using the Synology Assistance and the online administrative panel later on. This is one of the things that we feel Synology can still improve, as most of the competition has moved on to integrating a display that is not only informative but also helps you set up the device easily without a PC right when you took it out of the box. So this is something I feel Synology could still do in the near future somehow with their new models coming up in later on. So as you can see, the system has been set up successfully now and everything is done. So we can just go to the management now, where you can see it has had the name, it has the DHCP IP address, and is currently still starting up the system services. Once that is done, you can actually connect to the unit and the administrative console and then go configure your device from there. Thing is, with the Synology Assistant you get an indication when the system is ready. Now once that is completed we can actually select it and go connect to it, which is what we're going to do now. So we just connect and you will become to the password login screen where you enter the password you gave it during the installation, and there we go, we're now into the admin console. Now in the beginning you have some shortcuts to the main management and online resources. Later on, enabling several functions of the Synology DS1010 Plus will extend the amount of icons visible here into one line, although most of the screen will remain empty and is not really attractive. So the first thing we do is go to the management now to show you whatever you can do. Now there's two modes you can work with the Synology Disk Station Manager. It is in a wizard driven mode, which is these 6 icons you can see here, or in a complete mode, which is absolutely overkill because there's so many functions and features on this NAS that the icon mode is kinda a killer for the convenience or the fast configuration of the unit. So we in general prefer using just the left hand menu. Now the first thing we need to do is actually create a volume, and this is done underneath storage with the volume manager. Now this needs to load a couple of minutes to check out the hard drives and everything we have. After the initial setup, there is no volume created, so when you click on the volume manager, it will actually prompt you with a wizard to create one, and we're going to do that now. The choices you have are standard or custom. Now, if you use a standard mode, the Synology DS1010 Plus will actually detect the amount of hard drives you have and create the best fit rate for that amount of disks. Usually when you use 3 or 4 hard drives, it will actually configure it into a RAID 5 automatically. You can, however, go custom, and with custom you have the choice to select every type of RAID you want. So we're going to create a volume now here, or we could create an iSCSI target, but we're just going to keep it with a volume, keep it simple. And as you can see, we have a total of 7 disks attached. Now go wonder about the DS1010 Plus can only hold 5 hard drives, so how come I have 7? The reason for this is that the first part of the unit, the DS1010 Plus, holds 4 hard drives of each 2 terabyte of the Samsung, and the DX510 is actually installed with 3 hard drives of 1.36. Now what I could do is just select all drives and create one single volume out of both units, and this is actually warning you that the storage will crash if you disconnect any of the 2 devices with each other. So you gotta keep it connected always. The DS1010 will boot up automatically the DX510 when you power it on, so there shouldn't be a problem. However, I do prefer creating 2 separate volumes out of these units for me now. So what we could do is just select 2 disks, and you will see that your chances here or options are limited, because with 2 disks you can only have a RAID 1, a GBOT, or a RAID 0. Now as soon as you start picking up 3 hard drives, you will actually see that RAID 5 becomes an option as well. So we have RAID 1, RAID 5, GBOT, or RAID 0. Now with a 4th hard drive added, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will actually have even more options, and this includes RAID 1, RAID 5 plus spare, a RAID 6, a RAID 10, GBOT, or RAID 0. And this is quite a lot of options, so you can pick up whatever you like most. So we're just going to create a RAID 5 out of the 4 drives that we just selected, and just click next. The reason why is when I add a 5th hard drive later on, I can still choose the RAID 5 with spare. So we don't need that right now. We're just going to do a RAID 5, click on next. We can do a disk check, which we're not going to do because it takes time, and then just click on next. As you can see, it will create me a volume about 5.4 terabyte in disk size with 4 disks in a RAID 5 configuration. We're just going to click finish here, and it's going to submit the data and actually start building my RAID configuration. The interface will adapt to whatever you do, so a status of how far the unit is will be shown here, including a percentage about what's completed. And as you can see, the disk info on the DS1010 here states that we have 4 hard drives of 2 terabyte in use. So again, we're going to leave the unit, build this RAID for about 5 minutes, and then we have access to the rest of the unit. So we'll get back in a few minutes.